What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Agrarian Skies 2. Oh yeah, so guys, last episode we ended off by spawning in some villagers, and off camera I was kind of going through some of the villager trading, looking for a Thaumcraft villager, and I found a good one. And yeah, I found one that would trade 1 Certus quartz for 3 emeralds, so I bought a whole bunch of emeralds. I was able to spend like, I don't know, what was that, 7 or so Certus quartz on that. Killing the villagers gives gold coins. Some of them trade mana beans. Let's see what else. Yeah, I got a few villager heads here. I'm not sure how those ended up in my inventory. The villagers just disappeared, the ones that we didn't want anymore. So there is one villager that I have left over here, and sometimes these guys get angry for some reason. I haven't figured out why. Most of the time they spawn, you know, passive, and then every once in a while one will spawn, and then all of them get angry at me and rush like zombie pigmen. This guy right now is hostile. I don't know what caused it. This trade here kind of just opened up. It wasn't here initially. I think the very first trade was this. And then after doing a few trades, this is now the first trade, so I don't know, that's kind of weird. But 1 emerald for a mana bean, so I was able to get some of these mana beans. You can eat and sometimes get aspects. I don't think it's 100%, but you can eat them, and they give you different things or whatever. But the reason why you'd want these really would be to learn the aspects. There we go, we got one for iter or iter, whatever. Anyway, so I did this trade and then unlocked these order shards. So I traded a few of the stuff for the order shards and then unlocked this V-stone. So we have this. This says slowly recharges held wands, which sounds pretty awesome. In fact, we should probably put that on since we don't really have a decent thing in our bauble slot here. We'll put that there. Okay, so that one's done. And then his last trade appears to be knowledge fragments, which is amazing. So we get these knowledge fragments here. So I can just sit here, put in all the emeralds, shift click that. We don't really get all of those trades. It just does a few. Oh, now actually it looks like that wasn't his last trade. I did this a few times. You can see I got a few knowledge fragments on me. I've done that trade a few times, and he didn't unlock anything else, but I guess that wasn't his last trade. He's got this purifying bath salts. Anyway, what we want is a villager that has this as the very last trade, so we can just sit here and spam click those and get those as many of these as we want. Otherwise he will lock those out eventually. Yeah, so that's locked out until we do this trade most likely, which is fine. We can do one of those. Hopefully that'll unlock it and we can get more of these knowledge fragments. Now the reason why we really want these knowledge fragments is because we can eat these. If we right click on those, we learn a bunch of different stuff. Hold on a second. Inventory. Something's not right here. Yeah, those weren't really there. Okay, so if I right click on these, we learn a bunch of different research for Thaumcraft. So I can just, you know, eat a whole bunch of those and get all of those research that I needed. Another thing we can do with these, at least I kind of remember this being the case. I haven't tried this yet. Is you could do like one of these and you can get a research notes. I don't know if we need these or not. Let's try and make one. So if we right click on that, what did that do? Visroom oddities, it drives me crazy. Okay, I don't know if we can even use these at all. I assume we had put those into our table, but since Thaumcraft is kind of on the easy mode where we don't have to do the little mini game to learn stuff. Yeah, I guess that would be the little mini game here. Our Thaumonomicon is already set up, so we can, you know, just click on things and learn it, provided we have all of these research points. So that's why I want to get these points going, so we don't have to worry about that. I'm curious now, Ordo, yeah, we're up to 63, that's awesome. Okay, that is way better than doing the deconstruction table like we were talking about last time. So I'm going to do a bunch of trades with that villager. I'm going to try and get a whole bunch of those knowledge fragments. Ideally, what we would want is a villager with the very last trade being that, so we never have to worry about unlocking it again. Like, it'll always be available for that trade. But I don't know how many more of these research points we're going to need once we get everything researched in Thaumcraft. I can't even remember how many more things we needed to unlock here, because I know I went through and I unlocked quite a bit of these. Yeah, there's some here. Maybe we should start doing some of these forbidden knowledge ones, just getting those knocked out as well. Those will make us have those headaches and like the weird things that'll happen to us, but it is things that we should do to fully complete our research here. I don't have enough of that. I'd have to learn that little sun icon thing. I know I have that. I just don't remember. That is air and precantato or whatever. Saying these names is not something I do well. All right, so we'll do that one, that one, that one. Okay, so now we can use a purifying bath salt. Very cool. All right, guys, I'm going to do a few more stuff off camera here. Probably trade that villager a bit more, get some more of those knowledge fragments, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I spawned in a whole bunch of villagers and I was picking out the Thaumcraft ones, putting them in their own little 1x1 area, keep them separated and so they can't attack. You can see the guys who are angry with me are bobbing their heads around. These guys over here are passive. I don't know what set those guys off, if it's just like over time they get angry or what, but anyway, those guys are gonna break their necks by bobbing it around so much. This was our first guy that we had. And yeah, I have locked out knowledge fragments. I'm tired of spending 5 emeralds to get purifying salts. So I wanted to see some of these fresh guys. We should get some emeralds. We're gonna have to set up some kind of an emerald farm too. I think we can grow emeralds. I don't believe I set up the plants to do that, but I'm sure we can find some way of getting emeralds really cheap through these villagers. But I did want to kind of go through these guys real quick and start unlocking some stuff and see if there's any good trades that they do have. Oh, this one wants chicken nuggets for an emerald for the very first trade. I don't know if we can make chicken nuggets without getting deep into Thaumcraft, to be honest. So let's go ahead and get some of these mana beans here. We get 2 of them, which I think was better than that other guy. This guy still didn't unlock. Runic shield +1. I don't know if that's good or not. I'm not sure what runic shield is. So this wants some quicksilver for an emerald. Quick silver. Man, we don't have very much of that stuff, do we? You know, I think down below in our original sifting area, I believe sand or dust, one of the two gave us quicksilver drops. Yeah, we have some quicksilver here. Not very much of it, though, overall. You know, I should take some of this stuff and put it back in our system. I might have to set up something to get some more quicksilver. Let's see. Is it cinnabar that turns into quicksilver? This might be it, too. Maybe we can smelt this. I forget if that's how you get it out of there. Let's try. We smelt this. Does that give us cinnabar? Or quicksilver? It does. Okay. Well, I'm fine with smelting up some of those ores. Not a big deal. We're not really having much use for them. 16 should be more than enough. We'll let the rest of that stack smelt up. But yeah, I am kind of curious to try and find a villager over here that has the last trade being the knowledge fragments. If we can find that, that's going to be really, really awesome. Hopefully this guy doesn't use too many of those. Okay, here we go. Now he wants beef nuggets. Well, that's a problem. We're going to have to figure out how to make those nuggets. I think you need the furnace? The, I can't even remember what that's called. The Thaumcraft furnace or whatever. To make those nuggets, if I remember correctly. There's another V stone. We can go and grab that one. Let's try unlocking this guy. Alright, that was the one that wanted those nuggets. Some more order shards. This guy wants an emerald for a niter. This guy needs a little window. This guy, there we go. Okay, well, I'm gonna go through, I'm gonna trade these guys, see if I can find any that are pretty good, and we will be back, guys. So I've traded with these villagers as much as possible. Some of them I'm running into roadblocks, that's why we got torches in front of them. Like this guy right here wants the chicken nuggets. This guy over here, I was able to do a few trades, I think, and then amber. We don't really have a way of generating more amber at this point, other than sifting sand, and it's very rare. This guy down at the end, he did have knowledge fragments, but his last trade was beef nuggets, so I can't unlock this one again. He wanted books for it, so I made a bunch of books. We have plenty of sugarcane. Yeah, sugarcane, and then we can also use the Tinker's Construct patterns, the blank patterns or whatever, to make books out of. Book. This recipe right here, yeah, so string 2 of these blank patterns and 3 paper. We don't have a lot of leather. We can, you know, kill those cows down there and get some if we wanted to, but I think this is probably the best way since all of this stuff is renewable. through the tree farm and our mob trap, and then our sugar cane that we have growing way over there. But yeah, so I was able to get over a stack of these knowledge fragments anyway, so that should be more than enough to get me by for now to do all of the research that I need to do. So I'm just going to go ahead and eat all of these. I'm probably going to quit out of the game and come back just so all of that stuff on the right hand side goes away. But yeah, this is pretty cool. It's a good way to get all of this research really quickly. Alright guys, so I just spent a bunch of time here putting together some of the platforms for our blood magic. So we got an altar over there and we got an altar here. They're the exact same thing. Well, actually they're not even altars. These are the block placements for the completed blood altar when we get to that stage. Yeah, you put the blood altar right here where this cobblestone is, and then the first ring around this when we get the bloodstones in will be, I think that makes it a tier 2. I think it's a tier 1 by itself, then tier 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But yeah, all these pieces of stone here are where the actual runes are supposed to go. We will replace these eventually when we make all the bits and pieces to do that. There are spots here for the tier, I think this is the 6 or tier 5. It does require beacons where the torches are. So we'll have to kill some wither bosses to get the beacons, I think. There might be other ways to get it in this mod pack, I'm not sure yet. But yeah, there's enough space the way this altar's laid out that you can do a full tier beacon on each of the 4 corners. So I've went ahead and I laid out the iron for that so we can set up the full beacon effects when we get to that point. Yeah, we need no, these aren't even supposed to be redstone. These are supposed to be, I think they're called bloodstones. We'll have to make those blocks. And then over here we have purple glowstone. This is actually supposed to be some other type of a block that I think you get from a special dimension, or maybe it's just from fighting the demon invasion thing from blood magic. I can't remember. I never got this far before when I did this, I think in Infinity. But yeah, anyway, so we got the whole blood altar laid out. This is one of those things that you want to do right from the start when you start into blood magic, because you don't want to have to constantly rearrange things. But as you can see, like the full-size altar basically takes up an entire platform. So there's really not much else that we can do on these two. But yeah, we're definitely going to want 2 platforms. One so we can automatically fill up our LP network from having monsters spawn in and then you know, take damage and things like that. The other one we're going to want for manually crafting and things like that. The center platform over here, I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do with this just yet. We were kind of using this as our starting area for using the orb and filling up our altar and then doing some basic crafting to get us going. We might move this, and we might put in like all the other stuff that's required for blood magic here in this platform, but we'll get to that eventually. But let's go ahead and take a look at our quest book here and see what we got to do in the mystical blood section. Yeah, I was just making sure we didn't have any quests that were completed, or yeah, that we needed to claim. So yeah, we got some quests here that are available for us to complete. Bloodstone, these are those items that we need to replace the redstone blocks with. But in order to get those, we need the weak blood shards. And in order to get those, we have to do some things. Let's start on the earlier ones. Yeah, we got all these runes and things that we can do. The divination sigil is something we're definitely going to want. So this is a divination sigil will let you see how much blood is in your altar or LP network. Kind of important to have. So we will go ahead and make that, and that'll give us a sigil of holding. So the divination, this thing right here is made with just glass, a blank slate, and I think the lowest tier blood orb works. Yeah, weak blood orb. Okay, do we have blank slates? I can't remember if we craft up extra. We don't. So in order to make a blank slate, we have to stick 1 piece of stone into our altar and just make sure there's enough blood in there for that to work. Let's go ahead and get the orb. We'll do this guy and we'll grab that out as well. So let's make sure that doesn't run out. Okay, yeah, we got plenty of stuff in there. We're good. So we have our blank slates. Now we just need to go ahead and craft the divination sigil. And you plus you and some glass. Okay, we do have regular glass. I'm not sure if the clear glass works or not. We should try that. It does not. Okay, so it does need to be the vanilla glass. Okay, so there we go. There's our sigil. And if we right-click on this in the air, it says we have 200 LP in our network, which is not very much. And if we shift right-click onto the blood altar, or no, we just right-click on the blood altar. So it says it's got 1,000 LP in there, and it's tier 1. Okay, so yeah, okay, I was just making sure I was doing everything right. So let's go ahead and take a look at our quest book and see what else we want to do here. So that's going to give us a sigil of holding. I don't remember. Use to hold several sigils. Okay, so can I put my divination sigil in there? I can. So how do I switch? Is it shift? Okay, so if I shift and scroll, it switches between them. That's kind of cool. So I guess that's just blank, and now it's like this one. Okay, very good. And then I can check this. All right, so that saves some space. I like that. Back to our quest book. So this wanted us to make a reinforced slate. So sticking blank slates back in an altar and infusing them with more LP will transmute them into reinforced slates. Reinforced slates require a tier 2 altar. So this is tier 1. So I'm going to have to break this and move it over over here, and then replace these blocks around it with blood runes. Let's take a look real quick. These guys right here, these are the basic blocks. So it's blank slates, 2 blank slates, and 6 stone makes you one of those. So I'm gonna have to make 16 blank slates, because it's just the ring around the altar, not the block directly below. So it's 8 of these that we're gonna need. I do believe these blood runes can be used in different, maybe not this one. Let's see, speed rune. Yeah, the blood rune is used in like the speed rune, so it's not a waste to make those. You don't have to upgrade them right away. Some of these require the reinforced slates. Yeah. Anyway, guys, let me go ahead and craft up some of this stuff. It's going to take a minute for this to be done. I'm going to craft up some of those blood runes. I'm going to move our altar, and we will be right back. Alright guys, so I have been working pretty steadily with this blood magic stuff, trying to get things going. So I have set up an automation here where we have a chest where you can put an item in, and we'll be pulled out of that chest using a resonance servo into an impulse item duct and into the blood altar. Now normally when you try and put stuff in the blood altar, you can only put one item in if you're right clicking. You can pipe in up to a stack of items using like a hopper or these item duct pipes or what have you. Any kind of a method of moving items automatically into an inventory. So we can do up to a stack of items, and then we have the same kind of a setup on the other side. This is the result chest. So an item duct, another servo. The servo, especially the top tier ones, are the ones you want especially for extraction, because you can set a blacklist. So if you want to make a whole bunch of reinforced slates, if you pipe in stone and you don't have a blacklist set, this pipe will pull the stone pack out. Nothing's going to happen. So you want a blacklist stone, so the stone goes in, does its thing, and then it'll be pulled out later. You can also set another one for like blank slate, for instance. So if I put a piece of stone in here, it will be piped in. It'll transmute into the blank slate, and then since I have a blacklist on blank slate will transform into the next tier, the reinforced slate, automatically. So we can just do that. So now we got the blank slate in there. It's going to turn into the reinforced slate, and then it'll be pulled out. So that's a really cool way of automating the blood altar. Other things people have mentioned to me in the comments, we were looking at these resonant health pads before, but people told me in the comments that you can put more than one pointed at you and it'll heal you much faster. So that's what I've done. Yeah, our reinforced slates over here, we got 9 now. So I got 4 of these things. I made 4 new ones. Our other one's still way down there. I made 4 of these things, and sure enough, it does work. So if I take my health all the way down, well, pretty far down anyway, you can see it charges it up really quickly. It's like 3 or 4 half hearts, like every tick or every second or whatever. But that is more than enough to be able to keep this blood altar full for the tier 1, tier 2 stuff. Maybe when we get into the tier 3, I know some of the later crafts, even without speedruns or whatever, it just draws blood way faster from your blood altar. But yeah, that's what I got set up over here right now. Very simple, just a tesseract underneath there, some pipe, or I guess some flux ducts to move the power around to the different items. Yep. So yeah, that's what I've been working on. So our next quest here wanted us to have 8 reinforced slates. This one right here. 8 reinforced slates to complete that quest. Let's go ahead and grab 8 of those. And there we go. So now this quest is complete. That's going to give us 9 moss stone, and we can choose one of these other things. So we can do 4 more blood runes, a self-sacrifice, or a rune of sacrifice. So I guess the first thing we should check out is which one's the most difficult to make. So rune of sacrifice requires 2 blank slate, or 2 reinforced slates, some stone, some gold. And then I guess a different tier blood orb. I don't think you can make those with the weak ones like we currently have. Rune of self-sacrifice. These are something that I'm interested in because this will allow us to fill up the altar that much faster by clicking this sacrificial orb. It puts more in per click, so that might be what we do. Then there's also the blood runes, which we've seen before, just a couple blank slates and some stone. That's not too difficult. So let's go ahead and take the self-sacrifice for now. And I do believe that's actually going to complete this quest here as well. Manual detect? Yeah, okay. So it says, for those that do not wish to harm other living creatures, the rune of self-sacrifice will upgrade your altar to increase the amount of LP added to the altar when using your own life energy. Each rune used for upgrading the altar will increase LP generation by 10%. So 10 runes will double the amount of blood you get by sacrificing your own health. Okay, so we're going to want a lot of these things if we are going to continue to click this orb, which we probably will for quite some time. So I'll be working on making some of these guys. I was just looking at that stored energy. That it looked like there was a lot of numbers there for some reason. Okay, so we have the reinforced slates. We got the moss stone. Right. So, self-sacrifice completed. Okay, so rune of self-sacrifice. Did I not? Oh, I guess I didn't claim this reward. Okay. So now we have 20% more efficiency. I was looking at this for the different tier blood orbs. Master blood orb is telling us we need a 4th tier. So probably the next thing, we should look at the 2nd tier blood orb, which is the magician's. That requires a tier 3 altar. No, which one? I thought there was one that required a tier 2. That's a tier 1. Oh, it's the apprentice one. They're out of order. This one should be at the very front. That's why. So in order to make the apprentice blood orb, we need to put an emerald into our blood altar. So let's go ahead and grab an emerald from our system. If I have any left from the trading. Emerald, yeah. Very few left. We do have these guys, though. These will turn into a lot of emeralds. I should look at setting up emerald plants. You know, I'm thinking about it right now. I can't remember. Did we ever make emerald seeds? No, we're kind of going off topic here, but this is kind of important. Yeah, there's nothing in here for emerald. So I will have to look at how to make emerald weed seeds. That's diamond and emeralisis, which is iron and redstone. Oh, that's not too bad. But we're going to need the emerald ore, and I believe we can smelt those nether emerald ores into the emerald ore. So I'll work on that as well at some point in the future. Okay, so we wanted to put an emerald into our blood altar, so we'll set the filter here so it does not pull out the emerald. We'll just stick that guy right in there. That goes into the blood altar. That should go ahead and transmute into the 2nd tier blood orb. Let's also look at this a second. So how much does this require? 5,000. I believe we had over 5,000 in our system. Yeah, so that'll be fine. That'll just complete, and I'll end up in this chest when that is done. Okay, so this wanted us to make the tier 4, which is going to be a little bit of time before we get to that point. So let's look at another quest here. Yeah, we can't quite do this one just yet. What? Where is a zombie spawning? Okay, hold on a second. F7? F7. Okay, so F7 shows me where there are spawnable spaces. And I was pretty sure I went through everywhere and looked and there wasn't a spawnable space. So where did that zombie come from? Okay. Oh, maybe it came from on top of this block. Okay. There's the yellow X, found it. So he must have spawned there, saw me, walked down the stairs, and was hanging out over here to eat my face. Okay, got it. So yeah. Let's see. So we have these different sigils that we can make, like a water sigil, imbued slate. No, that's not a sigil. Magnetic growth, bloodlight. So let's look at the water sigil. A water sigil can be quite useful in a sky block world. For 100 LP, it would place a block of water in the world or 1 bucket's worth of water in a tank, which is actually kind of cool. That's kind of expensive at the start. Well, not really expensive. We're just going to have to put some blood in our LP network, or some LP in our LP network. We haven't done that yet. We only got 200 in there. In order to fill up the LP network, let's grab this guy. We need to click this once, so that will link it to ourselves. If we stick that in the blood altar, that will suck all of the LP out of the altar and stick it into our network. So yeah, there we go. Now we're filling that up. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Let's grab that out of there. We don't want all the blood gone. So this wanted us to make the water sigil. And how do we make one of these? So it's buckets of water around a blank slate, and then we need, okay, a weak blood orb will work. So the tier 1, we'll stick that guy in here. We'll use this one. We need a blank slate, which we do not have. So we need some stone. Keep switching everything in my inventory. It's getting confusing. So piece of stone can go here, and I will turn off the filter for making those into the reinforced slates. Yeah, that'll just take a minute here. So buckets of water, that's something that we're definitely going to need. I think it said there were 7 that we're needing here. Bucket. There's 8. There we go, 7. Right, and we can just use our well that we have. Awesome. And we'll just stick those in the system for now. Okay, so that stone should be done. There it is, blank slate. Yep, so we just need to use the blank slate, the 7 buckets of water, and the weak blood orb, I do believe was what the recipe was. Water. Actually, I think we can just do that, right? Okay, and this guy, and there is our water sigil. Oh, maybe we made 20 minutes? No, that was the one I had in my inventory already, so that's fine. Okay, so water sigil is actually something I don't think I've ever used before. I'm trying to think of a spot. I think right here will be fine. We're not going to knock out any torches. Let's just give this thing a whirl. I think we can stick it in this one too, right? There we go. So if we do that, okay, if we click it, sure enough, it makes a source block of water that doesn't flow. If we put a torch next to it, that will update it. So that's kind of cool that it makes it non-flowing. I like it. So we'll stick that guy there. And there we go. Okay, so the self-sacrifice runes is something that I definitely should swap out some of these over here for as well. So if we do that and that, that and that, okay, think that'll help us out a little bit as we try and fill up our altar. I will try and make more of those as well. So back to our quest book. What do we have here? Oops. That's going to give us a water-infused stone. That's Thaumcraft, right? I think so. Yeah. Okay, so that gave us a item from Thaumcraft. So another one, Blood Light. I'm not sure what this does. The Sigil of Blood Lamp will create slightly creepy light sources out of your blood. It can place these light sources at a distance, and if a mob comes between you and the space the light is aiming for, it will damage them and sometimes set them on fire. Interesting. That's going to give us a magnum torch for a reward. So a blood lamp. I don't think I've ever used these before either. How do I make one of you? Ooh, imbued slate. So that is the reinforced slate in a tier 3, so we can't quite do that yet. So the reinforced slate in a tier 3 makes one of those. So that's the next step. And then I believe after the imbued, you can put that in one more time and that'll make a demonic slate. Okay, so we can't quite do this quest yet. Imbued slate. I can't remember. Was that what we were just looking at? The imbued? Yeah, that's a tier 3. So we can't do that one. What's it? Magnetic growth, blood storage. Oh, man. Okay, so it looks like we're getting to the point here where we are going to need to upgrade our altar once again. There's a few more runes that we can make. So this one was the next one, Rune of Sacrifice. And that's a few reinforced, or a couple reinforced slates, right? That was what we wanted? Yeah. So we can try and make that real quick. And jetpack sounds went away once again because I was building the beacon bases with the builder's wand. And whenever I do that, it kills the sound from my jetpack. All right. So this guy and... oh. Yeah, is it this one that I can use? I can't remember if it's this one or the next tier. It doesn't look like that one works. So I might need that other tier one that we made. Give me this one. Alright, let's check this out. Is this good enough to make what we need? It is. Okay, so there is our Rune of Sacrifice. So I'll have to make a few of those too in the future when we do get the automatic blood stuff set up. So back to the quest. This is going to give us a Sanguine Scientian. Yeah, I'm saying that wrong. And 4 blood runes, so we'll go ahead and grab that. Alright, there's a few more quests along here. I'm having a good time messing with blood magic. It's one of those mods that I don't mess with too much, but when I do mess with it, I really enjoy the way the mod's set up. It's quite different than pretty much everything else that we do, where it's just a bunch of crafting, you know, resource gathering, smelting, crafting, that kind of stuff. This, I don't know, it feels different to me and I like it. But tell you what, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap the episode up here. I got some stuff that I'm going to do off camera to try and speed things along with this process. But yep, that's all we got time for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you did like it. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.